My name is Victoria Ngwenya. I work for Standard Bank KZN and I am the head of retail and business banking looking after the regional areas. What I do is generally I look after personal segments as well as business banking for KZN, Standard Bank, and that basically covers our whole branch network as well as ATMs and private banking segments, small and medium enterprises as well as business banking. I look after 3 specific areas within KZN, being Sunduzi, Drakensberg as well as Zululand. How I got where I am today, I would say definitely education played a big part. I was fortunate enough to have that instilled in me quite early on by my late father, who was an entrepreneur in his own right. And the hard work ethic was always in me, so I've always excelled academically. I have a BSc undergraduate degree in property studies from Wits University, as well as a postgraduate diploma in business administration. And I've always believed in continually investing in yourself and your journey and your career. And certainly I think what played a big part is also just learning and paying your dues in corporate itself, spending time within the business and understanding the requirements of banking particularly. I have over a decade of experience in financial services, having worked in corporate investment banking and now retail and business bank. So it's certainly been a very long and fulfilling journey. Who inspires me? I'm inspired by the current wave of incredible black female and male executives. Our very own Sim Shabalala is a big icon in my world, as well as the likes of Raisibe Morati, the CFO of Nedbank, who has played a very critical role in my development and in my career. She's been very instrumental as a mentor and has taken very keen interest in where I am today, and has always selflessly given herself to ensuring that I was on the right path and that my goals were set right. And so I draw a lot of inspiration from them for their resoluteness and for their commitment in banking particularly, because it is a very tough industry and traditionally also one that was marginalized a lot of black people. I'm also very fortunate to work for a very inspiring leader, Emran Nurbai, who's taken a very hands-on approach in terms of helping me develop and grow and understanding the retail side of banking. I'm inspired by phenomenal women and pioneers such as Funeka Montjane, who is our current Chief Executive for Personal and Business Banking South Africa, who started also young in this industry and has had a long journey of growth and prosperity within banking. And I think to have these kind of living role models within our organization is just a true inspiration on a daily basis to just go out there and be the best that you can be. Absolutely, I do believe that women have to have a different approach to succeed in business, particularly because we've always been marginalized. And so what I found in my own journey is you need to earn your place at the table. You have got to work a lot harder than men do. And that's just the journey of what women have to face in corporate, and it's the reality of what we have to do. It's changing marginally, but certainly I think we've got to invest a lot more in ourselves. We've got to show up differently. We have to commit to the journey and do a lot more to get ourselves where we need to be. I'm quite fortunate in that I work for an organization which appreciates and supports and promotes talent within the business, especially black female talent. Generally, corporate South Africa undermines the value that young talent bring to the table, and it's a very sad reality because we're missing out on a big part of that could contribute to the future of South Africa. Am I happy with what I've accomplished? I think certainly I've come a long way. I think as a young woman in banking, the road is hard, the road is long, so I'm very happy with where I am. But certainly, is it the end? Is it where I think the journey ends? Certainly not. I think there's a lot more that we need to do, particularly as women, black women, because we're still largely underrepresented if you look at the senior executive positions. So the journey is still long and hard for the girls that are coming up behind us. So I think there's a lot of lifting that we as current executives need to do, and it has to be deliberate. We have to be deliberate about getting more people into the boardroom, getting more black women in those executive seats, because that's how we're really going to make the biggest change and influence to corporate. how do I achieve a work-life balance? I think that's the biggest myth ever for a woman. But certainly it does help that I've got a partner who's not only my biggest cheerleader, but also a very active and involved parent in our kids' lives. So it enables me to be able to do the long hours, do the traveling that I do in my role, but also have time for myself, time for gym, time to meditate and regroup, and also see how I can bring value back, add back, give back to other young women, because I am passionate about the fact that it can't just be about me. It has to be about us as women and where we're going on our journey. So certainly I think that's a plus, that I've got a support structure. I've also got family that's very involved and very helpful with my children and supportive of my career growth in the form of my mothers-in-law, my aunts, that are always willing and ready to jump in when necessary. The advice I'd give to my younger self is to be kind to yourself. I think as women, we're generally very hard on ourselves. I think we should spend more time as young people discovering our purpose and our passions, because that really is what it's all about. And then the rest of your life just fits in and builds into mastery. But I think one thing I would have loved to have learned much early on was just to discover who I am and to spend time honing my interests and what makes me happy. Because ultimately that's what it all leads down to. That's what I figured out a few decades later. But that's what I tell myself.